What's up? Do you want a faster brain, more focus, and a memory that actually works when you need it? That's exactly the result we're going for today. I'm going to show you 10 practical pillars that science has already proven work to optimize your brain. And I already know what you might be thinking. Here comes another video with a magic formula. If you're expecting a single trick, a supplement, or a miraculous app, this video isn't for you. The truth is, there's no silver bullet. What does exist, and what I'm going to show you, is a system of 10 practical actions that together make a real difference. And we need to talk about this now because we're living in the age of distraction. If you feel like your brain is slower, more tired, and that your focus is being stolen all the time to act is now, before it gets worse. I'm not a neuroscientist, but as a content creator, my life depends on focus and fast learning. That's why I've spent the last few months obsessed with this topic, studying what the top experts do and filtering out what really works in practice, far from all the fluff. Before I give you the 10 pillars, tell me in the comments, what's the feeling that bothers you the most today? Is it the lack of focus when studying, the mental fatigue at the end of the day, or the memory that seems to be failing? I want to know what your biggest battle is. Thanks for the comment. Now, let's get to the facts. Habit 1. Real food for the brain. Let's start with the most basic. You are what you eat. This is very serious, especially for your brain. What you put inside matters a lot. There are foods that are proven to help protect your brain. We hear a lot about brain berries, like blueberries, that little blue fruit. They are full of something called antioxidants, which work like a cleanup crew, fighting the rusting of brain cells. Avocados are also great, full of good fats that help blood flow better in there. And yes, even dark chocolate, the kind with lots of cocoa, helps because it relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. Now think about your diet today. From 0 to 10, is it more like rocket fuel or watered down gas? Habit 2. Nutrients and vitamins. This is related to the first point, but it's focused on what might be missing. With a busy life, we don't always get everything we need from our diet. There are nutrients like omega-3s, especially a type called docosahexaenoic acid, or DHA, that are literally the building blocks used to build the brain. Vitamin B12 is also super important for your neurons to function. But hold on, this isn't about going out and taking a bunch of vitamins on your own. The right thing to do is to go to a doctor and get blood tests. That way, you find out exactly what your body is missing. It's much better to test than to guess. Habit 3. Killing automatic negative thoughts. Now let's talk about the program running in your head. It's no use having the best computer in the world, the brain, if the program, your thoughts, is full of viruses. I'm talking about that little inner voice. Have you ever stopped to listen to what you say to yourself all day? Many of us have automatic negative thoughts. It's that voice that says, it's not going to work. I'm not good at this. I always mess things up. The problem is, the more you complain and think about failure, the more your brain gets used to expecting failure. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something you vividly imagined and something that really happened. If you imagine yourself failing a test 100 times, for your brain, you have failed 100 times. You are training your fear. Imagination is a superpower. How about using it to imagine yourself succeeding? And speaking of power and using the right tools, if you're excited about this idea of reprogramming your own thoughts to win, then show that energy. Smash the like and leave the hype on this video. It's the fuel we use to bring more content like this. Habit 4. The group, the people around you. Who are the 5 people you talk to and spend the most time with? There's a saying that you are a mix of them, and that's not just talk. We humans have something called mirror neurons. This means we literally copy and feel what the people around us feel. If you hang out with 9 people who only complain and are negative, guess who's gonna be the 10th? You. You pick up their habits, their way of thinking, and even the words they use. Your friendships directly impact your brain. That's why it's so important to choose well who is close to you. Habit 5. A clean environment. This works on two levels. The small level, your study desk, your room. A messy place creates visual and mental fatigue. Your brain has to work harder just to ignore the clutter and focus on what matters. A clean desk helps with clear thoughts. The big level, we're talking about clean air, clean water. Air pollution, for example, is toxic to the brain and can make it age faster. Of course, not everyone can move to the countryside, but we can try to keep our personal space as clean and organized as possible. Habit 6. Physical exercise. This point is one of the most important. Everyone knows they need to exercise, but we usually only think about our muscles and forget the brain. Physical exercise is like a fertilizer for the brain. It makes the body produce a special substance called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This complicated name is for a chemical that helps build and repair neurons. Moving is literally building a stronger, more resilient brain. Habit 7. Sleep, the nightly cleanup. This here is very, very important. Often, sleep is the first thing we cut when we have too much to do. It's a gigantic mistake. Sleep is essential for three main reasons. First, it's during sleep that you save memories. It's like hitting the save button on your day. Whoever pulls an all-nighter studying is actually throwing away a good part of their learning. Second, it's when the brain cleans itself. There's a nightly cleanup crew in the brain called the glymphatic system that kicks in and washes away all the junk and toxins that built up during the day. Third, it's where creativity runs wild. Dreams are your brain mixing all the day's information in new and crazy ways. Many brilliant ideas were born this way. Habit 8. Brain protection. This is about preventing your brain from getting hurt. The obvious way is physical. If you ride a bike, motorcycle, or scooter, wear a helmet, always. A blow to the head is serious, and the damage can last forever. The other way to protect it is with digital hygiene. A lot of people sleep with their cell phone next to the bed or even under the pillow. The problem isn't even the phone signal. Science still debates this. The problem is the blue light from the screen. This light tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, and that messes with the production of the hormone that makes you sleepy. The best thing is to leave the phone charging in another room, far from the bed. Habit 9. New things. Learning. Here's the best news of all. Your brain isn't fixed. It can change. It used to be thought that after a certain age, you only lost neurons. Today, scientists know we can create new brain cells, neurogenesis, and create new connections between them, neuroplasticity. How to do this? With two things, novelty and nutrition, which is the good food from point 1. Novelty is the stimulus. It's learning something difficult and new. Learning to play an instrument, learning a new language, even trying to write with your other hand. This forces your brain to create new pathways. It's a mental workout. Habit 10. Stress management. To finish, we have the great villain of modern life. Living stressed out all the time is poison for the brain. Stress releases a hormone called cortisol, which in excess can be toxic to your neurons, especially in the memory area. The problem with stress is like the fish in water. It doesn't see the water because it's in it all the time. We get used to living tense. You only notice how tight your shoulders were when you finally relax. You need to have moments on purpose to relax. Meditation, breathing exercises, having a hobby, listening to music, whatever works for you and helps turn off your brain's alert mode. As you saw, none of these 10 things is some otherworldly secret. The trick isn't in knowing this, but in doing it. And it's not about doing just one thing, but trying to balance all of them a little at a time, every day. It's a lifestyle. It's the process of taking care of the most incredible and complex machine you have. All right. Now that you've seen the whole system, I want your honest opinion. Which of these 10 pillars do you think is the most challenging to put into practice today? And of course, which one will be the first you'll choose to start this revolution in your brain? Let me know what your starting pillar will be. And if this video was the new stimulus from point 9, remember that you needed to start taking care of this incredible machine. Then do this. Smash the like and leave the hype right now. It will be your first step. Your check-in to start this new lifestyle. We are in this journey together. Cheers!
Nelle sorelle sul rossi pa che vuole sia.